So good morning, Highland Church. If you're a guest this morning, you may be wondering why there's a video of a stranger up on the screen. My name is Jonathan Storment, and I will be beginning in August the preaching minister here. And the Highland leadership and I decided that it would be a good idea to let you know a little bit about myself and the family before we got there. I went to Harding University. While we were at Harding, I met my wife my sophomore year. Her name is Leslie, and she is the best part of me. I mean that seriously. While at Harding, I worked for a year at the North Jacksonville Church of Christ as the associate teaching minister. And we also went around to small country churches my first 3 years and just helped to encourage them. I would preach. We would go with some song leaders, and we would do whatever that they needed us to do. For the past 7 years, I've been working at the Richland Hills Church of Christ as the associate preaching minister. And while I've been doing that, I've been going to a school in Abilene that some of you are probably familiar with called ACU. Just to let you know a little bit about my heart, when I was a freshman at Harding, I went on a spring break campaign to Jamaica because the Lord needs people in the Caribbean too. And while we were there, the church had asked us to go door knocking because we all know how effective that is. And basically, we were just going around trying to tell people about Jesus. And there was one point in this day where we went to the dump, the local dump, and we saw that there were actually people living in the dump in just very inhumane conditions. And at one point, I tried to help some people who were living in the dump get out of the dump, or at least to get some food from the people who were at the church there. And I'll never forget the response I got from one of the Christians that was there. They said, "We need you to go on and keep door knocking. We need you to actually do some gospel work." And I remember thinking, this was a pivotal moment in my life. I remember thinking, if the gospel doesn't have something to say about that lady, then it's not really that much of a gospel. This is one of the reasons that Leslie and I are so excited about joining you at Highland. We see that we have very similar hearts. This is something God's been doing in us for a long time. I grew up in a family that made less than $20,000 a year. I did not know that we were poor until we went to college, but I also realized God has been raising myself and my wife up to be very invested in those on the margins of society. And I see you, Highland, as a church that's willing to put action. You put your faith, you put your resources, your money into action. And so we're so excited about joining you in just a few weeks. Until then, grace and peace.